What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I would like to welcome you all to another edition of Wayne's Perspective, where we operate in discipline, decency, integrity, and respect. And I'm coming through with another video just for you, a reaction video, that is. So, man, look, let me tell you something. The black vote is becoming more and more prestigious with each passing day, y'all. I mean, the Republicans is taking pandering to a whole new level of absurdity. I mean, they really are. You want to talk about pandering? That's exactly what we continue to see in front of our very eyes, and we continue to see it in real time. So, most of you all listening to this probably heard about Donald Trump's recent visit to a black church in Detroit. And of course, it was a hot mess, but what else is new? So, it just, I mean, man, if it seems like I'm at a loss of words, I kind of am, because I looked at a video that Roland Martin did. He unpacked the entire thing. It was about 55 minutes. He was a little humorous throughout, but most of all, he was serious about it. Just the insanity of the whole visit, and why would you invite this guy there, and knowing what he's about and all this other stuff. It was a real good video. I was going to react to that, but I was like, no. But then Cameron Hunter came through with a video, and I'm not downplaying Roland Martin's video. His video was good, but he was stopping it at points, and then I would be stopping too. So basically, his video was like 55 minutes. So if I did a reaction video to that and added my thoughts, it was going to turn into what, maybe an hour and a half or close to 2 hours. So that would be a little bit too long. So shout out to him for his critique, if you will, even though it was more than a critique, but I get what he was doing, and it worked, because he made some good points throughout the video, putting it on blast. And it should be put on blast, because it's crazy, it's absurd, and just about every other adjective that you can think, So, getting to Karen Hunter's video, I mean, that's the video that I'm going to take a look at here. Shout out to her. If you haven't followed her already, go ahead and do so. Fair uses for the video, fair uses. But like I said, y'all, I'm going to repeat it. The black vote is becoming more and more prestigious with each passing day, and the Republicans are taking pandering to a whole new level of absurdity. Now, you want to talk about the Democrats pandering for black votes? No, not the case at all. You want to talk about pandering? That's coming from the Republicans. They're basically doing whatever it takes, not a good job at it, but pandering. They're not doing, okay, let me do this again. You can say they're doing whatever it takes to win the black vote, but their behavior is not working. What they're doing is not working. They're pandering to the, pandering in the first degree. It's pandering at its worst, But I have to say this, each and every time I do a video on this topic, the Democrats need to do more. The Republicans need to do more. The independents need to do more. It shouldn't be all on just the Democrats. It shouldn't be all on just the Republicans. It shouldn't be all on just the independents. Everybody needs to do more, and with the Democrats being so closely associated with the black community, yes, I would even agree as a Democrat, somebody who has, liberal values, democratic values, et cetera, et cetera. I think that the party should be doing more, but it shouldn't be up to just the Democrats. It should be up to the Republicans too. But we see what type of stuff they're on, and they continue to see us, they continue to show us in real time. That's what we're seeing, So no, it's not the Democrats that's pandering. It's the Republicans that's pandering. And basically every time they do something like this, in the case of this video that we're about to get to now, we see it, and anybody thinking that this is the real deal, or this shows that Donald Trump somehow is down with the black community, congratulations, you played yourself. So with all that being said, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get into Miss Karen Hunter's video. So again, shout out to her. Fair uses for the video. Now I'm going to include her intro to her video. I love this intro. I mean, I don't know who's the brother that's singing it, but his content, his lyrics are great. The beat is great. I like it. So let's go ahead and get this started. Check out this intro, and then we're going to get right into it.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, my heart beats faster. These eyes are looking right at you, right at you. You give me something to believe in, just what I needed. You're the closest.
Funding entrepreneurs, specifically keeping the Black dollar in the Black community. Let me explain. If I want to eat, I have to give my money to the Albanians at Coney Island. If you want to get gas, you need to go to the Chaldeans. If you want to have your hair look like mine, you got to go to Asians. And I thank God for Asians. My wife is right there. She's Asian. Our children are Blasian. So I give it up to my Asian brothers and sisters. But we don't keep the Black dollar in the Black community. You're an entrepreneur. What does it look like for Black entrepreneurs to be able to get the resources they need so we don't look for a handout, but a hand up?
Okay, let me stop it right there before it continues. Now, they kill me when they ask questions like this, and when they ask questions like this to the likes of Donald damn Trump. Now, when you hear his answer, you can see exactly what I'm talking about, because number one, Trump doesn't give a damn about anything, anything like that. But specifically, he don't give a damn about what this brother just asked. And like I said, his answer is going to confirm that. This takes me back to when Kanye West went to the White House. I believe that was in 2017 or 2018. And I believe the news stations were at least, CNN and Fox, and I think MSNBC. I want to say all of them carried that live. And Kanye, bless his heart, Kanye was just pretty much talking about, if we're going to give him credit, he was talking about some important things, but you telling that to the wrong person, and as we saw, nothing happened regarding what Kanye West said. Now, you can argue that, okay, let's say if he told that to a Democrat, would we see the same results? I mean, probably, but the fact is that he was up in there, and yes, even then and now, I would say he made a complete fool out of himself at the White House, hugging all up on Trump and stuff like that. And Trump just looked either uncomfortable or just so indifferent to all of that. But at the same time, like I said, Trump didn't give a damn about anything that Kanye West said, and he didn't give a damn about this question that this guy just asked. And just wait until you hear the answer.
And we talk about this. You have a lot of dollars in the Black community, and they don't keep it. I think one of the biggest problems that I see is the crime. They have to stop the crime. If they stop the crime, you're going to see more and more stores sprout. And we're losing them in other communities too, where there's crime. You see empty stores, you see them all over. They see big stores they moved in 10 years ago. They spent millions of dollars to build it, and now they're leaving. And these are not necessarily Black communities. In many cases, they're not at all. But where there's crime, there's empty stores, and you don't keep the money. So I think the biggest thing we can do is stop the crime. We're going to stop the crime. We have to let people feel free and be able to walk outside and not even think about being mugged or hit or shot or anything. And, one of the examples, I see the love in this church. It's incredible what you've done. You've done an incredible job. I would like to ask if you could final out with a prayer. Is that okay? I don't want to get you by surprise here, because this was not.
Okay.
Okay, now before Miss Karen and Mr. Black comes in, now you see, he didn't answer the question because he didn't have an answer. He doesn't care about any of that. But you notice that the majority of the stuff that he said centering around crime. Okay, now let me say this. Okay, I have seen enough clips on YouTube regarding content creators that I followed before and content creators that I follow now talking about crime issues, specifically when it comes to stores and retailers in certain areas, but they're moving either due to theft or it's due to crime and all of that. Okay, if I'm going to be objective here, I get that. No one as as someone being in business for themselves, and no self-respecting conglomerate, no business want to be in any area where there's a high concentration of crime, where there's a high concentration of theft. Nobody wants to be in a community like that trying to conduct business. And quite frankly, if you're in a community like that where all of that stuff is present, you have a right and a responsibility to move your business elsewhere, because nobody wants to be a part of that. They really don't. Now, I get that part. I really do. However, that guy's question in general was not about that. And why Trump took it there, I don't know. Because see, that's how he and other people who support him view us. Is the only thing that you see is criminality when it comes to black people. Tell me that. Black conservatives, do y'all subscribe to that too? When it comes to the community at large, the first thing y'all see is crime and criminality and theft and wrongdoing. Is that the first thing y'all see immediately? That's the first and only thing y'all identify us as, out of the blue, is just being associated with crime. It's crime, this, crime, that, crime, this, crime, that. And what they're not telling you is that across the board, crime is down. It's not no big thing now, but they're not going to say that. No, they ain't going to say that because, for obvious reasons, they're not going to say that. But like I said, he didn't answer the question and he pivoted to crime this and crime that. That really wasn't the nature of the man's question. And I would question that brother asking such a question because you have to know that Trump doesn't give one single solitary damn about that question or anything when it comes to quote unquote black dollars and having to do this or having to do that. He don't. So with all that being said, y'all, let's go ahead and get to Miss Hunter and Mr. Black because they're gonna make some very, very good points, and I'm gonna be stopping a lot more. So let's keep it going.
All right. Oh, Jesus. Literally. Welcome back. It's the Karen Hunter Show. Dr. Black is here. That was the voice of 34 and counting. And he was at a church called 180, the 180 Church. I get the concept. Apparently, people called Shauna Renee this morning and let her know that this is a black church, but it only has like 7 members, mostly his family, on a given Sunday.
And not only is that interesting, but I think according to Roland Martin's video, the total number of black people in that crowd in that church was between 12 and 15 people. And you just heard Karen say that most of them is comprised of that guy's family. So what does that tell you? And then the majority of the other people in the audience were white. So the way that I see this, and I'm not sure if anybody else has said this, but the way that I see this is that the likes of Trump and them, they want to be in a black church, but they don't want us in the church. That's how I see it. Yeah, they want to be in the black church just for the optics, the photo op, and them pretty much, saying that, okay, here I am in a black church, so you can't say that I don't like black people. And please miss me with this whole notion of I have black friends or I have a lot of black friends. Does that make me racist? No, that it doesn't matter. Like, so what? You can still hold the views that you do, no matter how many black people you know. But then again, the amount of black people that he know is probably people that's in business or on another level or something like that. I can guarantee you Trump and other people like him don't know no average black person like myself or Karen Hunter or Daniel Black or most of you listening to this. But like I said, that's my theory on it. They want to be in a black church. They just don't want us in the church. Just like when he went to the Bronx a couple of weeks ago, they want to go to a largely black, area, but they don't want us there. You see what I'm saying? That's what
on this particular Saturday, Donald Trump showed up. It's being reported that this entire Blacks for Trump event at this church was staged.
And is anybody surprised? Because when he went to a Chick-fil-A in Georgia a few months ago, that was staged. So see, look, there it is. You want to talk about Democrats pandering? Now, in this case, the Democrats don't have to stage anything. The Democrats don't have to pay people to show up. They don't have to do that. But in this case, you get another instance of Donald Trump and the Republicans. They got to pay people to do this. They got to stage this and stage that because otherwise you wouldn't get the support. But you want to say that the Democrats are pandering. Isn't this pandering in the first degree? Pandering at its worst? I mean, come on now.
I'm shocked. The campaign decided to put the usual black supporters that travel to Trump events at this one.
And look, to that point, Byron Donalds, bless that guy's heart. Bless his heart, but in my Nas voice, what's sad is I love him because he's my brother. Okay, continuing on. Why does it seem like everywhere Trump goes now, he's there? I mean, do he want to be vice president that bad? I mean, do you subscribe to Trumpism and Trumpology so bad? I mean, what is it? Do you want to be at the table so damn bad that you're just willing to do this, not being aware of how this is making you look, and the fact that he's there, that's not endearing him to black people. That's not changing me or my thoughts or my votes. And I'm pretty sure it's not doing that to anybody else either. But, he's just up there, just so happy to be up there and just, yes, sir, Mr. Trump, where else do you need me to be? That sort of thing. No, I ain't gonna call the brother a coon. I ain't gonna call him a Sambo or sellout or anything like that. If he wants to, follow his soul for the likes of Donald Trump, be my guest. But if you fall on yours, you have to ask yourself, is he going to be there for you? And in my Nas voice, I think we all know the answer to that.
Now, it also coincided with Charlie Kirk's event. He had an event there. So there was buses bussed in of mostly white people.
And to that point, now, I'm not going to do a video on this, but I think there's a photo going around online, and it may be on YouTube right now. At that Charlie Kirk event, I think some people got on stage, like a couple of people got on stage with a banner saying "White Boy Summer." That tells you all you need to know.
If you pan the audience at this 180 church, it was mostly white. I guess Lorenzo Sewell, the pastor, his wife, who's Asian, and his Blasian children.
I told you, man, they have no problem being in the black church, but they don't want us in the black church with them. Think about that for a second.
But this was not a black congregation that he was talking to. I find it highly insulting that his response to how do we keep more black dollars in the black community to be cracked down on crime. But he's telling you two things. First of all, he believes black communities are overridden with crime, which is not true. Detroit's not even in the top 10, neither is Chicago. Anchorage, Alaska is. There are a whole lot of majority so-called white communities that are in the top 10 in terms of crime. But this is gaslighting that somehow, and then he talks about big businesses. That's not helping the black community. If we talk about Walmart or Target, or as was talked about this morning, those dollars are not going to black people.
That's true. And he knows that. And seriously, does anybody look to the likes of Donald damn Trump in terms of sound business acumen or sound business advice? He is not the poster boy or poster man when it comes to how to run a successful business. I mean, come on, y'all.
That's right.
We have the Rite Aids and the CVS's, and those aren't going to black people. The businesses are in our community, which is why people have no problem burning it down when they're rioting, because those aren't our stores. Right. When I was watching the Stacks, the Stacks docu-series during the riots, if it said Soul Brother on the, they put signs out, Soul Brother, black owned, those businesses did not get touched because they were in the Stax Records did not get touched during the riots. Motown did not get touched because that was part of the community. We don't touch our community.
That's right.
But people get to come in to our community and take the dollars out. This man, Donald Trump, has no answer for that because he doesn't see us as human. He doesn't see us as worthy. He doesn't see us at all. Only through the lens of racism. He's infected with it. And that this man could sit there, and I'm going to read a little bit, Dr. Black, Lorenzo Sewell, he's the senior pastor at 180 Church. It says Lorenzo Sewell was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. He grew up in a physically and verbally abusive home. This is his bio, by the way. High school was a challenge emotionally, with his father going to prison and his young brother being killed. What kind of trope? And I'm not saying this is not his experience, but why is it that these are the type of people that Trump attracts?
Right.
Exactly.
As a result, Lorenzo became heavily involved in drugs and drug dealing, ultimately becoming a gang leader. Through his life, though his life started rough, God had great plans for Lorenzo. And on April 18th, 1999, during his senior year at Fraser High School, he had a Damascus Road encounter with Christ that set his heart on fire, and he became a servant and blah, blah, blah. And it goes on. But you're taking money from somebody.
Right.
And you're to turn your church over as a farce. This is a deception.
Right. 100%.
Dr. Black, thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, it's an insanity. The first thing that I think is so profound here is Donald Trump. Why would you go to a black church, period?
Right.
Stay there for a second.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Why do you need blacks for Trump?
That's
Are
right.
there blacks for Biden? Do we have those signs? Blacks for Obama? What?
And Trump, it's not enough black folks who there are black folks who want Trump. We know that, but it's not enough of them, right? For you to actually make your way to a black church to spend time there. All of this is politics. All of this is politics because also Trump, if you're thinking that you can sway the black vote by going to a black church, sir, you're about 55 years behind time.
Clearly.
That might have been, and that was true in the 1950s. But sir, that's not true anymore. Number one. Number two, that I think is so incredibly important. And that is, if you're going to go to you went to one in Detroit, sir, you don't know the history of Detroit and black people and music, sir. You couldn't have gone to a church that had 20 members.
But see, the fact that we're talking about it, Dr. Black, and I struggle with this. We're being gaslit in real time.
That's right.
And what Trump understands about marketing is that there's no bad press. If we're talking about it, it's the same philosophy as Stephen A. If you're talking about me, I've won.
I've won.
If you're clicking it, there's a young lady, as was mentioned this morning on TikTok, using the N-word, but you've gotten her 1 million clicks. So if you're talking about this, then you've won because now it's in the news. And there's some people out there. See what I'm saying? There's some people out there that don't know the difference. So it must be blacks for Trump. If we're talking about it, it must be a black church because no media outlet has said this was not a black church. I didn't see any headlines. They all called it a black church full of white people.
Full of white people. Isn't that crazy?
Yes, it's crazy. And like I said, a few moments ago, they desire to be in a black church. They just don't want us in that black church. It's as simple as
that. And not that white people can't go to a black church, because there are a lot of white people that go to Creflo Dollar. There's a lot because they pay in the audience. A lot of black people go.
But it ain't the majority of the church.
Church is a church, right? But a historically black church with a handful of black people in it and the whole congregation is white that been busted, that's a lie.
Yeah.
So the media needs to do a better job of characterizing what we're actually viewing.
Absolutely.
Which is a farce.
Yep.
Absolutely.
But our responsibility in talking about it, I so struggle with it because that they got us now. Because it's so ridiculous. And again, Trump knows the more ridiculous, the easier it is to keep the lie going.
My days are.
All right, so shout out to Mr. Black and Miss Hunter for that. That was a good video, and they made some good points, and I feel as though I made some good points as well. And I'm gonna head to the closing of this video by saying once again, the black vote is becoming more and more prestigious with each passing day, and the Republicans are taking pandering to a whole new level of absurdity. And what y'all just saw, that's the definition of a new level of absurdity. I mean, we're seeing it in real time now. To anybody out there, justify that. Do you think Trump is down for the cause? Do you think Trump is riding with the, quote unquote, the blacks? And hold on for a second. Let me do something because I shouldn't have closed the video out that quickly because there was a comment on there that I wanted to highlight. Give me a second, y'all. I'm gonna go right back to that. Hold on. All right, let me go back to that. Because it's a real interesting comment. No, not those comments. Notifications. Okay, now this is one comment. It's hypocritical to hear convicted felon Trump talk about crime. Right. A notorious criminal talking about ending crime, fake black churches beyond disgusting. This country is in serious trouble. They rented out this church for this not black event, shameful display of religious capitalism for the purpose of dragging black people. Interesting comments. Now, the next comment that I'm going to get to is the one that I want to focus on. This person, Debio2222, said, where were Kanye, Lil Wayne, The Rock, Candace Owens, Ice Cube, 50 Cent, Snoop, and all? How come they didn't attend to help fill the seats with black folks? Well, it's clear why they didn't come. Either they didn't know about it, or they knew about it but just didn't care to come to that particular church, or they just wasn't going to come anyway, or it was probably, quote unquote, beneath them to go out their way. But yeah, that's a good question. Now, most of those people I support, I'm a Snoop fan, I'm an Ice Cube fan, I'm a 50 Cent fan. I like The Rock mainly because of his wrestling work, and I like Kanye, and I'm talking about Kanye from College Dropout to Watch the Throne album with Jay-Z. And y'all, if y'all listen to my videos, I'm not a fan of Lil Wayne and Candace Owens. I don't have too many things to say about her, but that's an interesting question. Where were they? And like I say, I guarantee you, either they knew about it but still didn't decide to come, or or they just didn't want to come for whatever reason. But that's how it is. But I'm not surprised that they weren't there, and neither should you. So I say all this to say again, this is more blatant pandering for the black vote, and it's on full display. And if you're tricked or fooled into thinking that Trump is down for the cause and he's going to quote unquote ride with the blacks, or he has the best interests of the black community at heart, you're sadly mistaken. And I'm going to leave it at that. So if you like what you heard and you're ready to become part of Team Discipline, go ahead and hit that like button and drop some comments if you're feeling the content. And yeah, let me know what you think about this overall. And last but not least, hit that subscribe button along with the bell so you're notified when I drop new videos. And until next time, my people, take care of yourselves. And remember, 2 things. Number 1, the power of the mind is valuable. And number 2, the black vote is becoming more and more prestigious with each